So I'm thinking about these areas here, and I have some that are dry enough that I could work with them, with those. But the thing that I'm not sure of is I'm not sure of the shape of the little bitty juice pods that are in there. So I wanted to experiment with those little guys here. So this is just an orange thing. And so I'm wondering if I had a juice pod that kind of went like that. They're kind of like little dashes, you know, maybe something like that. And then I put another one kind of next to it, and kind of build them so that they're somewhat tapered at the end, something like that. And so then I'm going to have these little holes and stuff in between. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just kind of dabbing it down and then making it wider. Maybe something like that. So that's a little bit of an experiment there. And then maybe for the colors, then I can. This is just some yellow in when it's wet. Being able to put some yellows in there or something, so that it's not just pure orange. Where am I going to decide is the dark side? This is red. What's red going to do? So I went red to the other side a little bit. So anytime you feel you need to have a little bit of experimentation going, just get a little bit of a scrap paper and see how it goes. Maybe something like that. Does that look like the possibility there of maybe some of those little juicy things? Maybe. Maybe. Well, I'm going to try it. Okay, that was my guide. And so I'm going to come back in here, and I'm going to start down at the base, and then maybe have some little juicy pods within there. And I don't need to have it all juice pods, but this is going to add a little bit of that texture. And as I brush it, it kind of activates the paint underneath. That's not a bad idea, I suppose. Let's get a little bit more of this stuff. And this is going to make it a little more orangish. That was a lot of orangish there. I think I'm going to have to pull out some of that paint. I think it's too orangish. But maybe that is a little bit on having some of those little bitty things in like that. What do you guys think? I think that's a little harsh, so I rinsed out my brush. I'm going to pull out some of this. Pull out some of this liquid, so it's not quite as dark. So this is more of a dry brush application of some of those little pieces. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. There's some red. So within maybe these little juice pods, having one side as the darker side really does change the wet into wet feel of it. Maybe that's not what I'm looking for. That does give a little bit of the light in there. That's kind of cool. What if we did this is mixed with a little bit of yellow. Maybe I don't need, maybe these sections need to be bigger. So I'm making this one just slightly bigger. But with having it more yellow, you see a little bit more of what's underneath it. There's still a little bit of orange mixed in with that. So just trying to leave some lines of lighter value underneath some of those, and then still being able to see some of the wet into wet. So maybe a little bit of orange mixed with some yellow. I think I like that a little better on those. I think that worked out better on those. And so let's try that again on another one. So I have a little bit of yellow paint and a little bit of orange mixed in. And so starting out here with a little bit of that, and then not having those pods as dotted, but leaving just maybe some little sinewy areas in there. Let's get more yellow. So bigger sections, and so the yellow, with the lighter yellow application, I can see the juice pods a little bit better. Something like that. Maybe like that. What about now this one over here was starting to dry a little bit. This is just a little bit of orange in on a few of these. Maybe a little bit too heavy. Yep, too much hard line. This is just a dry brush coming back in again, lifting out some of the extra orange. So it's not so dominant. I do like having a little bit more of the orange visible, but I think I like that better. Okay, so now what we do with that other one here, this one over here, so that told us a little bit wetter on our application, and now I can just put those little bit of oranges, streaks of orange on the right side of the little juice pods. Something like that. So it's a little bit more what we're looking for. So we have the little bit of light in between on those. Okay, now back to this other one. This I need more yellow, right? We were going to have yellow on this part. So we're not covering up everything that's underneath. These yellows. And that's added a little bit, because I did have a little bit of orange mixed in there. And this is more orange, just on the one side of the juice pods, leaving a little bit of orange. Kind of like that. So I think that's how I'm going to work that a little bit, so that I can keep some of the highlights in there on those. I might have too many, might be too much of the veining in between on those as well. But I think I like the texture. The texture looks pretty good with those, so I think that's how we're going to proceed. There's one last thing we can do with those. But I'll show you that with the end on some of the texture. We do need to get down in here, you know, a little bit more too. But I think that's good for that section. Now I just need to do that with the rest of the painting, and then also be able to put some of these areas, the tweener areas, in there as well with those.